Evening, everybody. It's about 7:15 on Tuesday night, the 18th, and this is your closing comment. Video number 1111. Okay, so we started the day with the Empire State Index showing a reading of zero point 0.7. Down from what was expected, which was 25.5, so a major miss. A little while later, we had the NAHB housing index, and it was 83 versus an expectation of 84. So, really, not much of anything. Um, the Dow was down 543 and change, or 1.5%. NASDAQ down 386, or 2.6%. The S&P down 85.74, or 1.84%. The Russell down 66.23, down 3%. Dow Jones Transports down 247, or 1.55%. We did move up in the VIX, 2279 up 360, or 19%, but still, not a serious spike up into the high 20s. As far as market internals, on the NYSE, we were 5-1 down. On the NASDAQ, we were 4.5-1 down. And volume was up at 5 billion, which is roughly a 20% increase from what we've been seeing. Also, as it relates to advanced declines, the Dow Jones Industrials were 23 down and 7 up. And there was only one stock that was up more than $1, and that was Visa, I believe, up $1.05. Everything else was just fractional. On the downside, leading the way was Goldman Sachs on their earnings numbers, pairing 175 off the Dow. UNH down 51 Dow points. Microsoft down 50, followed by Salesforce and Home Depot, each taking 34 off the Dow. On the Microsoft, we had big news this morning. Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. At the end of the day, after trading as low as 285, Microsoft finished at 302.65, down 755, or 2.4%. What was interesting is that the deal is all cash and $95, and pre-market Activision Blizzard was trading at 90, but when the market opened, it could only manage 86.90 and finished the day at 82.31, up 16.92, 26%. I mean, a great move, but the issue was it's a $95 all cash offer. It's not like Microsoft would have any trouble raising the money. They probably have it sitting in cash, 68.7 billion, but maybe there's some antitrust issues or just the market in general. I don't know. If it's not an antitrust issue, the stock makes an amazing long. Uh, you know, Trading at 82 and change with a 95 all cash bid. Goldman, which had disappointing numbers and really is what started this rolling to the downside, finished 354.40, down 26.54, or 7%, with a low of 333. So at one point today, this stock was down almost $50. And in late news, after the market closed, we have SOFI getting regulatory approval to become a national bank. The stock had closed at 12.06, down $1.14, or 8.6%, and since then has rallied all the way back to 14.44, The last is $14, which is up 80 cents or 6.3. So it went from down 8.6% on the day to up 6.3%. Pretty decent move uh, for it, and we'll have to see how that shakes out tomorrow and see what it really means. I also want to mention something that I mentioned in my letter and a couple of times in the Discord room. Um, Dennis has been discussing this with me for a while, um, and at the end of every year, and that is the alert that we get when the major indexes break their December lows. Now, you have to remember all these indexes were making new all time highs, so a break to the downside is pretty extreme. And we have that break in the Russell, in the NASDAQ comp, in the NASDAQ 100. Where we don't have it yet is in the Dow. The low on the Dow in December was just right around 34,000, and today we closed 35,256, so we're 1,256 away from that. And the S&P, which had a low of 44.92 and closed today 45.70, so a $78 decline. And basically, that's less than it was down today on the day. So the Dow is really the only one that has serious distance, and with three of the five already there, I'm not really sure what that says, except we obviously have been weak. Okay, as far as the futures go, this is the oil, and the oil today was up another $1.53. $1.61 closed 85.43, and tonight is 86.80, further higher. I'm not sure whether this is war related or economy related, but it is strong. The gold was a bit of a disappointment today. It closed down 410. It was never really up much. Tonight it's up about 30 cents. The silver is basically unchanged. What we have had a little bit of a run up in again is the nat gas. We were higher this morning. We came all the way back down and we're down on the day during the day, and then rallied again to close up on the day, only 2.1 cents, but still up. And tonight we are up another 8.6 cents. So basically, it's an inside day. Today's high was 439. Tonight's high is 438 and a half. So we need to see that go through there and maybe try this 460, 462 area. Bitcoin down 14.55. The dollar up 56 basis points. The bonds down 1.75. That's a fairly extreme move. I know I pointed it out this morning and showed everyone the chart, but definitely bears another look. This was today. So we opened down with a gap down and continued down and closed down 1 and 21/32, which is basically a little over 1 and 5/8, 1 3/4. And tonight we haven't broken the low, 153.16. Tonight's low so far, 153.16. The one that has really gotten the street on edge is the 10-year note. And I'll show you what that looks like, because we closed the day in this at 187, and that was up 9 basis points. But I'll give you a weekly look at this so you can see just how far it has fallen of late. This is the same chart that we see in the long bonds with lower highs, rallies, consolidations, lower highs, breaks, consolidation, lower highs, and continuing lower lows. So this is the equivalent of about 188, 188 and a half, and we'll have to see if that bounces here. Really, I was kind of expecting it to hold 128, but and it does look like it's becoming a little more oversold and a little bit more likely to have a bounce here. So anyway, that's about it, folks. Be careful out there. This is a treacherous market. I say it every Sunday about how keeping position size appropriate for your risk profile is of utmost importance, and you got to be careful out there. I'll be back in the morning. Have a good evening.